Today we got a relatively neutral 𝗬𝗫𝗀, but the market's reversed a little bit in the evening, and we've seen BTC drop down onto that first 382 fib that we were talking about yesterday. And believe it or not, the altcoins did exactly the same, and they've all dropped down into this region now. And we're looking at a little bit of green shoots there at the moment. We're going to figure out today: is this the move now? Are we long here? What is the plan? I'm going to take you through some of these altcoins. We're going to digest and figure out what the hell went down yesterday, because we sweated in some of those positions. So what I've got for you today, I've got Render, Link, Sol, Rune, Sui, Injective, Whiff, and we're talking the S&P. I am still short there, and yeah, lots happening today, guys. Looking forward to this one. So we turn on Banter Bubbles here, and it's green again. I mean, yesterday I presented you blood red Banter Bubbles, but it wasn't like this a couple of hours ago. I think we've just started seeing a little bit of a revival here into the US markets opening, maybe some bullish activity coming up. We've got earnings today in the US as well. We're going to talk about some of that, so that might help things a little bit here on the markets. But you know, maybe a little dead cat bounce here. Maybe we're looking for lower things, so we are gonna dig deeper, guys. Don't forget Banter Bubbles. Get onto Banter Bubbles. You click the win big button. There's a competition happening right now, and you can win $10,000 worth of Sol. All you need to do is sign up with one of the Bybit trading links in the description. That'll give you access to guess the price of Sol. Take 3 trades. Then you're cooking. You get a 10 times, you get 10x more. So the prize is $1,000. You get 10 times more if you've taken 3 trades. So get stuck in there, guess the price of Sol, and you need to guess the price of Sol on the 8th of February. You basically take in an option, a put option, call option, whatever, and guess the price by the 8th of Feb, and see if you're going to nail it. I must say, 8th of Feb, maybe in a week, I would say a little bit more bearishly inclined. I would say longer. I would say a dip on Sol personally. Let's see what the other guys are saying. We got some guys at 80, 88, 81. We got 95s here, 94. So generally bullish. And guys, don't forget, I do have a poll in the chats now. I need to do an urgent sentiment check with you guys. I want to know what you guys are feeling at the moment. So I have loaded up my poll here in the chats currently. I've only got 250 votes so far, so keep it coming. So far it's pretty evenly balanced here. Some bulls and bears, a bit of a mix, so keep that coming, and you know, maybe it's going to help us figure out what our next move is going to be. So let's just look quickly in the news and what's going on in the Twitter world. Well, we got Crypto Gel saying BTC has printed a daily bullish MACD cross, and he's super excited. And again, that doesn't mean we can't have some kind of little retracement here of 2 or 3% and burn some of these altcoins along the way. But bigger picture, things are looking okay. So bigger picture, guys, nothing to really stress about. You know, if we're trading altcoins on high leverage and things like that, obviously we look at it day to day and we sweat and we do what we do. But bigger picture, guys, we got a MACD bullish cross looking okay. So bigger time frame, all is well so far. So nothing to really worry about. Everyone knows what's happened here. If you're watching the show, you know what happened yesterday. You know, the Fed keeps the interest rates unchanged. So yeah, fairly neutral comments here yesterday. And then Jim Cramer, I love this guy. You know, everyone likes to fade this Jim Cramer guy, and he says toughest day of the year. Earnings, Meta, Amazon, Apple. Okay, big day in the US markets. He's saying it's the toughest day of the year. So if we fade him all the time, what are we calling this? Are we calling this the most chilled, the most relaxed day of the year? I'm a little bit concerned now. I don't really know how to deal with this, but it's a big day in the US markets. Meta, Amazon, Apple, always big results. We can also see a little bit of bank issues still happening around town. And we've got Arthur Hayes, who's saying, okay, cool. He's liking Sol again, but he says maybe after a few US banks bite the dust this weekend. So, you know, I mean, he's hedging himself here a little bit. He's saying he likes Sol, but he just doesn't like it now. He likes it, you know, maybe on the 8th of February when you can win. Banter Bubbles, win big. So, yeah, he's a nice little account to follow if you want to jump in there. Arthur Hayes, he seems to know his stuff. And one more thing, a little bit underwhelming. This Jupiter launch, you know, we were getting all pumped. Everyone was getting excited. All the Sol meme coins, the dog with hat, and all the other memes. We thought this was going to start pumping from the Jupiter situation, but yeah, too much negativity in the air, and the market basically started falling over yesterday. So a little bit of a dead balloon there for us. Okay, let's get into the juice. BTC 4 hour. This is what we're looking at right now. So what did we get yesterday? We had this we had the dip from on the 23rd of January. We pulled our fibs from the low to the high, and like clockwork, BTC just absolutely respecting the fibs for us. Here we are, 382 bounce for BTC right here, like absolute clockwork, and it's so beautiful. These altcoins just drop down onto their 382s as well. They hovered around a little bit today, a little bit undecided, and then they just started popping off for us. And now the big test is, what is BTC going to do here? BTC is now pushing back into this 50-day moving average. This is a big area for us right now. So from a levels perspective, if we crack this 50-day moving average, things are going to start looking a little bit more positive for us, because we know this 50-day moving average is a big deal. We had a lot of these altcoins rejecting off the 50-day yesterday. We had a lot of them using them as support as well. So let's look for BTC. First step, we blow this 50-day MA and just find some kind of support in this region, round about 42,800. If we can hold this area and just get some kind of support, maybe that will give us a little bit of breathing room. But then the next big dog that we need to deal with here, 43,800. This is a big level we need to smash. So that is what we're watching from a bullish perspective. And what we can also do here is just bang out a trend line, and you can see what's going on. We have a potential downtrend in play. Okay, so we need to understand that, and there's a lot of work to do here. So if we're not smashing through and we're not blowing through these levels, then we need to start looking at lower levels, and we need to understand, how does that help us? What does that do with our altcoins? Where are we going to be buying these altcoins if we get that rejection? So let's look at BTC support areas now of interest. And right now for today, this is what I'm watching: 41,800, big level here, 382. And then I've got the kicker, where I think if we do drop into this level, this corresponding 618, I think it's going to be the number where we're going to get our moves on these altcoins. And I'm going to take you through some of them shortly. But this horizontal 618 and 100-day moving average all tied in together, 40,500. That is a big level for me. So downside for me, 40,500. I like that for longs. 41,800. Like that for support today. And then the bull line, what have we got? What are our options here? We blow this 50-day MA. I'd love to see this little rejection here, support on the 50-day MA, and then maybe things are going to turn bullish for us again. But until we start breaking that, we need to be super cautious here. We can't just jump into some of these green candles we're seeing here. We're going to end up buying the top of a little pump and get ourselves in trouble. So we must just be cautious here. This is not a moment to start aping in. Okay, let's see who's here in the chats. Let's see where the people are. Luba, nice to have Luba back here. Danish is here. Danish says Sheldon with teary eyes. What's going on here? Sean's Bruce is in the chat. Simon is in the chats. They're normally in the back here with me. Luba says the fib king. That's correct. We use our fibs for life. That's what we like here. Valerie says aloha. Guys, let me know what's the vibe out here. What are you guys involved in? What are you trading? Did you guys see this render bounce? This thing absolutely pumped here for us. John says, Sheldon has me max bearish. Now, remember, guys, Sheldon made a great call. Okay, he stuck to his conviction. And I know you guys were abusing him in the chats. And we were saying Capo Sheldon and all these things. But you know what? He stuck to his call and he got it right. So credit to Sheldon. He owned that one. And you know what? He's got it. And we've moved these alts now onto these first levels, which are probably in line with some of his TPs here. So as always, when you get to these TP zones lower down, if you're shorting, these are also areas where you can get bounce longs in play as well. So you've got to give Sheldon credit where it's due. He owned that move there. Guido says conviction. Yeah, it's lovely. He nailed that. Okay, Jay says unleash Lord of Degen. Okay, Luba's sending Sheldon hearts. Okay, cool. Okay, Testnet says what is going to cause the next bull? Well, that's the question. We need a catalyst, obviously. So, we've had the ETF hypes, and now we've had a little bit of a letdown. It's sort of falling over a little bit now. We're waiting for the next catalyst. What is the next driver? And the next driver is the halving move. And I would say it's the ETH ETF play. That is the next big trade for us. So that is what we're doing, and that is what we really need to look for. So Fahad says he's still shorting with Sheldon, and the general sentiment there, okay, is bearish. Okay, we need to understand that. Like, we need some kind of mega catalyst to turn bullish. What's going to be the trigger? So we need to just watch these areas. And normally, when we're feeling ultra bearish, that is normally a good sign that we're going to get a reversal coming. And at the moment, I've got 61% of you feeling bearish. Okay, so let's see, let's push that up to when you guys are scared, when we're shitting ourselves, when 85% of you are telling me this is going lower. That's going to be our trigger. So let's keep watching these polls, guys. Always good. Just check your sentiment. Always watch the sentiment out there. And when the majority feel a certain way, well, then maybe it's time to start fading. Okay, enough chit chat. Here we are. Bigger picture. BTC weekly also still sitting in our flag. You can see if we zoom in here, fighting that 50-day moving average. Nothing has really changed here for now. If we take the big picture as to what's going on, big picture traders here, this 40,200 level is still a big level here. It's a 382. It's the 100-day moving average. And then the level lower, it's 37,500. But I don't even want to talk like that right now. Let's not even go there. We don't need to go there. First things first, we got to break that. We got to break this 618 level here, and I think that'll take some work. So 40,600. Let's focus on that one for now. Okay, dominance. This was a big one for me yesterday, and we had the dominance pushing into the 100-day moving average, and you can see this is what's just holding it up a little bit. So this is the 100-day moving average. I'd love to see a little rejection here with this existing BTC move, and maybe just give the alts a little bit more of a push here. So that's a 100-day moving average resistance. The next area for me is quite a bit higher. It's at this 54% region. So if dominance is going to push up and BTC is pumping, then we chilled. We're okay with that. But if dominance is pushing up and BTC is dumping to that 618 level, then we're going to be hurting there, guys. We're going to be hurting. So always have one eye on this dominance chart. Okay, let's see. Limitless says he woke up to 115% profit thanks to Banter School. That's nice. Abonay says I'm the only bull left in Banter. Look, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not ultra bullish here, but we've got to understand. We've got to watch our levels. We just got to play. We just got to play what's in front of us here. Gary Gensler says we pump. Kenneth says Celestia is mooning. Now, guys, remember yesterday, we dealt with a lot of things here yesterday, and I hope some of you guys were paying attention, because I gave you levels on Rune, I gave you levels on Render, I gave you levels on Celestia. I need to know in the chats, did you guys listen? Did you put your alarms on? Did you nail them? Because we're going to look at some of these now, and you're going to be absolutely shocked with what is going on. So the first thing, let's look at Render. So yesterday, what did we say? What would be a nice area for Render? We said the 50-day moving average, we said the horizontal, and we said the 382 FIP, okay? In line with a trend. What did Render do for us? I need to know, guys, in the chats here. Please. I need to know you guys are listening to Uncle Dill on these pullbacks here. Okay, so Render gave us a massive move. And, just classic buy. You're buying a horizontal, you're buying the 382, you're buying the 50-day moving average. And so far, a little 11% pump after that bleed out yesterday. And remember, we've got this Apple narrative. We got Apple earnings tonight. So everyone's getting excited about Render. Remember, it always seems to run with Apple and NVIDIA and all these things. And, they may be hoping Apple's going to start talking about Render and all these sorts of things. So let's watch this Render pump. And there was someone in the chats asking for shorts. Well, what I can tell you is this Apple narrative most likely ends tonight, when they realize there's fuck all going on with Render. So if you are looking for shorts, I would say you want to start looking in one of these areas up here, one of these big sort of TP zones. So that is an area I would be hunting for short. So let's see what type of reaction we get. Let's see if this market keeps pumping. Okay, let's see what they give us in this area up here later on. If we do get this 5 number, remember, this is a big TP zone. This is a rejection area. So let's see that play out. But that is potentially where I think we could get a render short, and that would tie in with a nice end of the narrative. I mean, this Vision Pro thing is getting launched tomorrow, and maybe that news dries up there. Okay, let's see. Maritza says, don't fade the fibs. That is correct. Okay. Simon says, fuck all. Is this technical terminology? It is. It's technical when we're hitting the charts. When we're hitting the charts. Okay, let's see what else we got. Chelsea says, how did Sheldon become capo? I'll tell you, it's experience. Okay, so the last bull run, everything was bull, but the man's experienced now. And, you know, when he's got a hunch, we've seen before, Sheldon's often got, you know, I'm proud of him. He absolutely nailed that one. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's go to the next one that's actually going to blow your mind here. Celestia. Okay, what did we say yesterday? Same story. We highlighted this area here for you guys. Celestia, 618, trend, horizontal action here. And what did it do? It just dropped into this little basket here for us and gave us a nice little reaction. Now, how do we deal with this? You know, what does this mean? Do we jump into longs now? What is the plan? Well, what we need to understand is that Celestia is now just routinely bouncing here, pushing into a resistance zone. So the first things first, we need to be cautious in this area. You could see this is a horizontal here. This is big trouble here for Celestia. So the first move, it needs to actually break higher. It needs to confirm that it wants to be higher. You want to see support here now in this region. So remember, yesterday, this was the entry when we were dipping into a major support region. Now, if you're looking for entries, we are pumping into a potential resistance area. So now it's exercise caution time. This is bear country. This is the bear zone. This is where the bears are now looking for shorts at any type of resistance area. So bulls, what you want to see here, you need to see Celestia reclaim this next level, and you got to trade this thing level by level. Let's just mark this out for you. You can see another horizontal here. Okay, we know that people are generally bullish on Celestia. It's been one of the better performers. But again, if you're trading this level by level, that is what you're looking at the moment. And it could easily start coming down. But what I would say for the bears, the real move here for the bears is when Celestia loses this trend. And then there'll be time for us. We can plan these things. And we can look for a situation like this when it does eventually lose this trend. If it does reject, it's going to be the same story as a trend breakout. We're going to lose the trend. We no doubt going to get some kind of bounce, and then we're going to play that move lower down. And for those of you that were looking at some of Sheldon's shorts, he was planning it on the 2 hour, the 4 hour, those type of charts, and it's just a simple loss of trend. And now if you lose a major trend like this, and this is a big trend from, let's just confirm when this trend started. This is a trend from November. This is a 3-month trend for Celestia. When you lose a major trend like that, then the downside targets start getting nice and big and fat and juicy. And so we'll keep our eyes on this now. But right now, bearish sentiment out there in general. We need to be cautious at resistance areas here. This is where people are going to be taking profits. The scalpers, all the revenge traders that jumped in yesterday, they're just bagging their profits. And we need to exercise a lot of caution until we start breaking new levels and start pushing new highs. But right now, resistance here for Celestia. Dylan, 100% science, 10% bull balls. Let's give you this bull. Here's this bull. Gotta respect the bull. Gotta respect the bull. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Lots of Pyth questions. Gordon says he's long render. Tom says Dylan the Viking, sniper bowman. And Make Money Travel says she forgot to like. Guys, remember also, important information. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. It makes perfect sense. Hit the bell button so you get notified. Subscribe and like the channel. And then you know when I'm here bringing you the stuff. Okay, next one I've got for you. Big one, Rune. I mean, this was also just epic. So yesterday, Rune was looking so bullish. Javier was online asking us what to do with Rune. And we were looking at it. Simon and I pulled out Lux Algo. We pulled out all sorts of things. And we basically said, look, Rune is pushing into a resistance area. And what was that resistance area for Rune? Well, number one, it was the 50-day moving average. It was the 100-day moving average. And it was a 618 fib. It's tough to call it an iron wall, because I once called it something like that an iron wall, and BTC ripped right through it. But you get what I'm saying. We know when we get these areas, the 100-day, the 50-day, the 618, and some horizontals all tied in together, we know that it's a tough and a strong area. And the same move plays out on the way back down. So here we are, Rune looking into a support region. And this is what we're saying. This was our target here for Rune yesterday for any moves down, any dumpage from the market. What was it going to fall into? It was going to fall into a 382, it was going to fall into a horizontal, and it was going to fall into a trend. So balance of probabilities, when an altcoin hits an area like that, a lot of the time you're going to get a bounce. Again, we can't guarantee how high it's going to bounce, but we know that's our reaction zone, and that's where we strike. And Rune just played the game absolutely perfectly for us. So what do we do now with Rune? How do we play this? What is the plan? Well, we know Rune is tied into BTC. And if BTC is bullish, Rune's going to be bullish. But we know that BTC might just be having a little sympathy pump here, and might want to turn around. And you can see right now, BTC is sitting at resistance, 50-day moving average, horizontal. And where's Rune sitting right now? Horizontal resistance. Okay, looks like the same picture as BTC currently. So same story. Rune needs to pop higher, needs to secure the support for the next move. Okay, so now is not a time to be long Rune. The time to be long Rune was when it dropped into the basket, when you were hating crypto, when you were saying it's all over, when you were saying you're getting out of crypto. That is when that feeling was there yesterday and earlier today, when we were getting this bounce here in this area. So now we just need to be a little bit cautious here. We're at resistance now, so we need to let things play out again. And the best way to do this is now to sit back and watch and see where it goes from here. If it starts drifting lower, then you know we can be patient. We can see how this is going to play out. And I do want to show you some other levels that I've got, and I've also got 𝗎𝗎𝗎 involved in this current Rune situation. So what I'm looking at now, if there's more BTC weakness, take note of where the 618 is, because we've got BTC 618 at that 40,600 level, and we've got Rune 618 a little bit lower down. And if BTC starts showing some weakness, we might see a situation where Rune wants to then dip lower, reject there, and then start making its way down to the 618. So that is what I'm going to be watching. And I did find very interesting. I pulled out 𝗎𝗎𝗎𝗎 and Seth's indicator. And let me just, here it is. And what do we see here? We see the 618 dropping into the weekly pivot level. So for me, you can see this is a hot zone here. And this is where 𝗎𝗎𝗎𝗎 would indicate a potential long. And you can see it's struck once over here already on the 29th, on Monday the 29th. But if we drop into this region, we know we've got a 618 here as well. We've got the horizontals, and we've got 𝗎𝗎𝗎𝗎 telling us a story that that could be an area for another long. So keep your eyes on that level if we do lose that trend. But right now, Rune sitting at resistance, so just be a little bit cautious. And we might very well see something along these lines, a little downtrend here. Something like this, okay? And we can turn bullish once we start blowing through that trend there. Okay, what else is happening here? What else is happening here? Let's says I went Picasso on Rune. Yeah, it was a little bit messy there. Okay, let's see. Augustine says FTM Uncle Dill breaks trend at the instant. Oh, is it breaking trend? Okay. Ian says he's loving 𝗎𝗎𝗎𝗎𝗎. So guys, Seth actually gave us another 𝗎𝗎𝗎𝗎𝗎 setup today on Sniper Club. So I actually got it here for you. If you are interested in 𝗎𝗎𝗎𝗎𝗎, there is a link in the description. And this was a longer term play that Seth dropped here. It's a spot trade, and this was AGIX. So he dropped it in the Sniper Club. He's kind enough to come in and drop a couple of signals for the Sniper Club members, for those of you that are learning about it. And there's a lot I see trading on it at the moment. I keep getting tagged on Twitter as well. And you know, guys, tag me on Twitter if you got cool charts, you got cool setups. Tag me there on Twitter. I might actually use them in the show if some of the setups make sense. I mean, you guys know a lot of the charts and the tokens that I watch, but I know you guys are watching other tokens as well. So I'm happy if you want to tag me, if you've got some setups, always happy to look at it, and always looking for content as well. So if you tag me there, I might even give you a credit on my show for your setup. So don't be scared to tag me. This is Seth's AGIX long. Okay, so your entry and we're going to pull up the actual AGIX chart shortly. He was saying your entry is 0.266 down to 0.254. Okay, and the reason he liked it, this was the weekly pivot. So let me pull up my chart, and here it is here. Okay, so here's our pivot level, and you can see what's going on. The easy algo stuff is actually tied into some of my science here. I've got a 618 bounce currently, and I've got the easy algo, so it's sitting in the easy algo zone currently. Okay, and Seth's target actually ties in roughly with the 50-day moving average higher up. So it's the 50-day moving average and horizontals there, and his stop loss is roughly 9 or 10%. So this is a spot trade that easy algo is giving us, and he said it might take, it could take a week or 3 for this trade to play out. So that is the current setup. And guys, Daniel says he's sending charts. Okay, he's got some man science, bro. Hook me up anytime. And okay, so that is the plan right now for the latest easy algo signal. If you are interested, grab the link in the description. You can either join Sniper Club, and Seth will send you 1 or 2 signals a week there in Sniper Club, or you can grab easy algo at the same time. Okay, let's see what else. So many Pyth questions. I'm just seeing a lot of Pyth here in the chats. GME on Sol, there's questions there. Let's see, CFX. Mike says easy algo rocks. Okay. Modfire says, shoo, stay in rune short. Well, if you shorted the top there yesterday at that 50-day and 100-day MA, I think you're cooking there. Unless something wild happens here with BTC and sentiment all of a sudden changes, stranger things have happened. Yeah, then I think we should be okay. Okay, and now I wanted to talk to you guys about Link. There's this trader. I just like this guy's name, so I thought we must just say it. Jake Wujastik. He says Link has been in range bound for 3 months, and whichever way this price resolved, there's almost a guarantee it's a massive move. And I mean, he's got a good point. There's a little bit of news today on Link, but this is what I'm looking at currently, and Link has been quite savage today, pushing to this range high. And I mean, the other day I added an extra TP there for the Sniper Club traders that were still trading Link. We've now blown through that TP zone, but we are now pushing range high for Link. Okay, and I remember times in the past where Link has pumped and it's actually resulted in the market dumping. Okay, which is interesting to me. We've seen situations like this before. And is it going to tie up to Link banging into range high here at roundabout 17.35? And guys, remember, you guys, we did a vote when I took that coin call trade. We did a vote. I took that coin call put option, and we're supposed to be sending Link to 13. Don't forget that by the 24th of February. Okay, so if this range is going to break, this range better start coming down, because my coin call option that you guys voted for was Link to go bearish at around about I think it was this 30 level. So I'm looking for a rejection here on Link for obvious reasons. And if we don't hit that target, then you guys have taken 2 votes and we've lost 2 trades so far. So we're gonna have to improve on that. I'm gonna pull out that coin call again tomorrow. We're gonna have to get some more options going here. We got to get that hit rate getting a bit better. So if I were you trading Link, okay, we are clearly at a range high area. We don't know what happens after that. Okay, so if we start blowing this area, we know there's potentially shorts and stops and all sorts of things there. But what I would say is this market's going to have to be super bullish, and BTC is going to have to be breaking some resistance zones for ETH to actually squeeze. So I suspect this is going to be the top of this move. It's the height of a range move for the last 3 months. This range was entered into on the 6th of November. Okay, so it will take a lot of work to break it. And if Link does reject there, I think it's going to be a pretty clear ride for us down to this 13 region, and that might tie in with some more BTC depression. So let's see how that plays out. But anyone in Link, hot zone approaching now, 17.2, 17.3, that is your hot zone. And just exercise some caution there. Bears, that is your zone if you want to start getting stuck in. And the guys are going to be climbing in here. And let's actually set our alarms here. Maybe we can grab ourselves an entry when we do start popping through this area. Now remember, we just want to see a little pierce this area and a nice little rejection. And maybe we can just send it back down. Just send it back down to those lows there at around about 13. So let's see. Okay, set your alarms here. Range high. Maybe Link is going to gift us a little entry here. Okay, the alarm is set. 17.4. Let's see how that plays. Okay. Okay, what else we got? 𝗙𝗀𝗁 says Dylan getting wrecked by the community. Led says Link is manipulated. I'm bearish big on Link. Danish says he sold Link at 11. And Ina says, yeah, sometimes the majority is correct. Yeah, sometimes the majority is correct. But sometimes they're wrong. I mean, look at, you know, some of the votes going on in this country, for example. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's go Solana. Okay, this was big for us. Okay, so Arthur Hayes he's bullish on Sol again, and you know, he was saying he's bullish after the bank run this weekend or whatever he was suggesting, that things were going to start falling over there in the States. So Sol, yes, was disappointing for us. We had that Jupiter airdrop, and you know, we expected a little bit more here from Sol. But what do we have? We've got a clear downtrend. Okay, so any traders out there, simple plan here. It's really a simple plan right now. And you know, Sol is in a downtrend. What do we need to watch? We need to watch the major areas. We need to watch the major reaction zones. And where are we going to get our reversal? Where are we going to get our move? And what I could suggest here is take a look at these stocks lower down. Okay, for example, we've got the 4-hour stochastic. It's reset. But let's look at the 12-hour. Let's just see the 12-hour still wants to come down. Okay, let's look at the daily. Daily's right at the top. Okay, so that tells me that potentially things are going to turn a little bit bearish here while we wait for these stocks to reset. And I think this move for us came when we had the dailies, we had the 12 hours, we had the 8-hour, everything was sitting at the bottom at that move. So ideally, the big move for me is going to come when we get these stocks all resetting, daily, 12-hour, 8-hour, 4-hour, when they're all sitting down nicely at the bottom. And hopefully we're going to see it at one of these levels here. And we just got to keep waiting patiently here. This could take a couple of days, but here, 89.8 and anything down to about 78, 79 for Sol. If that starts tying in with these stocks resetting, then we could be gearing up for a nice little move. So we're going to do that with all of these alts coming down. We're going to just tie in all these high impact zones, all these hot zones. We're going to tie it in with BTC sitting on corresponding levels. And when the time is right and these stocks are all setting up for the next big push, I think that's going to be our real move. Okay, who else is here? 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗐 is still sitting short in Sol. Tom says Pyth is at a range high. Danish says dumping now. We'll have to see what is dumping. Let's see. Is it BTC? It's not quite yet, but you can see, guys, 50-day moving average, so important. Okay, you've got to get this on your charts. Look at that. Okay, it's not a lie. It's not a joke. 50-day moving average, here it is. Look, it's always a problem here. Altcoins, all these things, they're rejecting right now. 50-day moving average, always a nice thing to have on your chart. Okay, let's look at 𝗬𝗓. So 𝗬𝗓's been a nice mover for us and dipped back down into a 382 just the way BTC dropped into its 382. So did 𝗬𝗓, but now looking potentially a little bit bearish. Why is it looking bearish? Well, it's lost this rising trend now, and now we really need to understand what is the next play. How do we play this? So what I'd suggest here is potentially a short-term move up. Okay, but we're going to be looking for something along these lines on 𝗬𝗓. And I tell you why, we've got the trend. We've also got this horizontal pushing through here. And if we pull some fibs, we're going to see a situation here where we probably have tie-in from a 618 or a 382. So we know that we're going to have a potential rejection here. And then that might be the start of a 𝗬𝗓 downtrend that we can start tracking lower. And then we're going to have to find new areas and new levels where we can look for these bounces and play it accordingly. So right now we just need to be a little bit more patient. Let's see what 𝗬𝗓 does. Let's see what this move looks like. But ideally, if we get a push up here from 𝗬𝗓, we're looking at a rejection around about 1.53, 1.54 in that area there. I would expect some kind of rejection. That's a horizontal, that's a trend. We've got fib action up there as well. And let's see how that goes. Then we're looking for that bearish play, and we're going to potentially start setting it lower. And we're just going to look level by level. So we don't have to look too deep. We just look area by area, solid zone by solid zone. And you can see if we get this opportunity here, you can see this is nice juicy area where we can start getting some buys in there on 𝗬𝗎. Daddy's Corner says bounce looks over. Yes, bounce into horizontal 50-day moving average. Okay, and then we start looking at our next potential levels lower down. Okay, let's go. Manta. So I prepped Manta for you guys earlier. This is looking interesting. Now, we know there was a little bit of hype around Manta, and I thought this was, showing a little bit more strength than some of these other altcoins, and maybe it's a bit of a runner today. So let's look at what we have. And this is Manta on the 1 hour. And what is it giving us? It's giving us a break of trend. It's giving us a break of horizontals. So this is a potential move transpiring right now here. Let's look at our fibs. Okay, we don't have that full move yet. So, we're playing a little bit of guessing work here at the moment. So we're looking at a 382 support zone. But yeah, right now, what I would say to you, Manta, potential long here in the game right here. Support 3.14, and then your next support region that you would watch is loss of 3.06, but there's a potential move coming right now. Let's look at some targets. I want to see where these targets are tying in for us. Okay, first target that we want to see, this might actually play out perfectly if we get a little pop here for Manta. I've lost my pen. Hold on. Get that back. Okay, there, get the trend back. Okay, so what I'm looking for here, we just want to get this pop. We want to see this rejection here at this horizontal, and then the real test here is, are we going to hold this horizontal? That's what we want to see. That's the move for Manta. So if you're interested in this Manta play, you can ladder in a little bit here, but the real move for me is I want to see this push and rejection into this 382. Then we want to see this pullback hold at 3.13. If we're holding around 3.13, then that could be the trigger for a nice little move up. And let's take a look where the 618 is. Okay, lovely target here, 3.44. Okay, so there's a nice plan here for you guys. 3.44 is a short-term little move. So we want the push up. We want to confirm support here on Manta, and then your first area of support that you'd want to watch. So after we get that push, you want to just pull that fib. You want to see where that 382 is going to tie in. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to pull it to the high of that move. Then you're looking for this 382 to hold for you. So you got this pull here to the high. You look for this 382 to hold, and if that holds and that confirms, then this move is away, and Manta is going to be off to the races then. And your exit, you lose that 382, which is sitting at 3.096. Okay, you lose this 382, then Manta is potentially not going to hold that move, and it's potentially then going to start drifting a little bit lower. So a nice little tight stop there as well for you guys. Roloffs is up only. I see there's a lot of like guys spamming here these meme coins now. Okay, I don't know. Spamming meme coins here in the chats, guys. Chaos says 𝗏 making a move. So let's take a look at 𝗏, because that's a Sol meme coin, and I've got it here. Let's see what's going on. Okay. So Sniper Club traders, you were given this 𝗏 trade this morning. Okay. And it was a simple play. So yesterday, we spoke about 𝗏 yesterday, and it actually lost that 786 level. But what has it done now? It started bleeding down yesterday. It fell through that 786 level, and it gave us 1, 2, 3 X's, and it was too much to ignore, and it was too obvious that there was going to be some kind of reversal here. And here's our horizontal in this area. Okay, you can see this nice little horizontal, and yeah, now we are banging into our TP zone. So the quick little rejection there. You can see a nice little trend rejection right now. Let's just clean this up. But this was a signal given on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 this morning, and you know, we were looking for a reversal here, and TP1 has now hit. So a small little move, but it's still a move, and I am sitting in that position there. I took it there this morning when I gave that signal. So yeah, $300, I suppose. That's not too bad. Obviously, we want to see it higher. Now I've missed my TP opportunity. And okay, but let's see how this plays out. So again, we can turn bullish on WIF once we start breaking that trend again. So we've got our first entry, which was in this box, and the next move, we want to break this trend. We want to just pull back a little bit, and then our TP2 should come into play. But right now, we've got quite a big rejection there. So we want to see how WIF handles this current situation. And again, so no new entries here. If you didn't grab this one in the box earlier, no new entries here. You got to let this thing play out now. Let it break its trend, and let it find some support here. Let's see. Spartan says, wait, that was 𝗬𝗍, apologies. Okay, no, he said he just did say. So Spartan, were you wearing your glasses there, bro? Were you misreading that? I am Miss Daisy says, loves to trade WIF. Well, look, guys, WIF is low now. I mean, WIF has really been sold out. And, you know, it was time for some kind of reversal. We were obviously banking on a bigger reversal with the Solana and the dupe airdrop. We wanted a little bit more out of it. But, I mean, this is the daily. I mean, if you look at this thing. And, I mean, it looks like the lows. It looks like it doesn't particularly want to go lower. But you never know what this market is going to dish out. But you can see we've got a nice juicy support region down there. So maybe that was the low. Maybe it's going to go up. But, again, there's no rush. You can always just wait for these trend breaks. There is no urgency here. Rather be safe than sorry. And you know, you don't want to buy situations unless you know, if your entry is not perfect. So right now it's not in an entry box. It's now pinging on a resistance zone. So rather just sit back and wait, or join 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and get the signals that we give you. Simon sending signals, Bruce, Sheldon, David. I mean, Sheldon and David both sent out short signals at the end of the month on well, yesterday or the day before. And they absolutely nailed it. And we've had actually an excellent January based on all the trades that we have sent out there in our signals. And guys, if you want a piece of it, you need to join and you need to get involved. Okay, let's see what else. Christopher Roberts says, Maria in the golden pocket. Guys, I'm running the charts for In the Game as well. In the Game has its own paid product. And what are the charts there? Is Maria. So if you're interested in gaming tokens, you need to join In the Game. That's Hustle's channel, and it's Hustle's paid product, and he's got a lot of stuff happening in there. Okay, I've got a couple more for you here. Manta we've covered. Injective, let's look at Injective. Okay, so this was another one. Lots of requests for Injective, and you know, it's also been in the same range that Link has been sitting in. Also for, what is this, 2 months, Injective have been sitting in a range and possibly looking a little bit bearish now. It's potentially going to lose this major area that we were watching yesterday as our first potential bounce zone. So what I would suggest here, Injective now is sitting on this nice little horizontal at 34. Okay, it's trying to hold this area, but we know if BTC starts losing that current level that it's sitting on, if the BTC loses that 382 fib that is sitting on right now and it's going to start looking lower, our target here for Injective is going to be about 30 to 31 is our possible Injective target. And you can see what's going on here. Again, another downtrend in play here. We need to see where Injective actually rejects now on this current move. If there is a bounce, we need to understand where it's going to reject. But you can see the basic play here on a lot of these altcoins is rejection time coming, downtrends, and we need to just let these stochastics all reset. We can see we've got the 4-hour reset, but it needs work. The 8-hour needs to come down, the 12-hour needs to come down, and the daily is only just turning over now. So we need to just be a little bit patient here, let the stuff drift down, and we're going to tell you when the time is right to really start climbing in. But I don't think it's now. I think we need to just be a little bit cautious here. Okay, another one I've got. Oh, we got tons for you guys. Arbitrum. Okay, so this, we spoke about this on the show quite some time ago. We spoke about it on the show when Arbitrum was sitting down here. This was a week or two ago. Arbitrum was down here before this big move. And we were saying, look out for this potential head and shoulders that could play out. And what did they do? They came here and they pinged the 618 for us. And if we look at this level by level and just look at this proper perspective here, Arbitrum tells me that it might still want to come down and visit the 786 area at the very least. Okay, and if this head and shoulders is going to play out on Arbitrum, we're going to see lower levels. And you know, we're talking about things like this. We're talking about areas at a 1.3. We're talking about areas at around 1.46. So right now, again, a little bit of no man's land other than a 618 bounce. If BTC doesn't behave and BTC is going to start drifting, we're going to be picking up Arbitrum, looking for some kind of bounce at 1.63. So maybe something down in this region. So a little bit of green now potentially, but I'm looking at something along those lines for the next bounce, and then maybe they're going to come and absolutely kill us there on Arbitrum. So we do need to be a little bit watchful. This is not the perfect area, and I was talking about that on Twitter the other day with this uni setup. I get a uni setup also at the same time on the 23rd of January. We were talking about this setup, and uni was looking like that Arbitrum chart is looking at the moment, and we were looking for that bounce at the base. We were looking for that pump, and they gave us that result. And I mean, look at this uni situation here. Uni's pumped into the 50-day moving average, the 618 fib, and it's rejecting. Now, is this story going to play out? And, you know, if that's the plan and that's the story, we're going to be looking at lower levels for a lot of these altcoins. So we just need to understand we might just be in a small little downtrend now, you know, for the near term, maybe a week or three, something along those lines. And there could be some pain. There could be some bleeding out here for us. And we're going to have to be patient and really just wait, you know, for the right setup, especially for the bulls. And then the bears, what you can do here is you can short any of these pumps. What you need to do is just hunt these big reaction zones, and let's use Link as a nice example here. You know, if we get Link into a nice juicy zone, and this chart was flipped over, same story again. So let's flip this chart over, and what would we be doing? We'd be saying, guys, looking for longs down here. Okay, so I'd be saying, are we looking for longs here? No, we're looking for longs lower down in this region here, 17.3. So let's treat it exactly the same way. We're just going to flip it back over. Okay, and we're going to look to start building a short in that region. Okay, so just wait for it to hit the right areas, and then we can start doing these things. And if it hits tonight, I will open my first position there, and we'll see how we go tomorrow. Hopefully we get that push into that area, and then yeah, we can start building this Link short. Okay, one more for you, Pepe. Okay, this is what Simon was talking about yesterday, and it's not a Sol meme coin, but it was looking like something was happening here. So let's pull out these Lux algos again and see. This is Pepe on the 12-hour, and we do have a first X print for this Lux. So we printed the short on Lux. They sold it, and they gave us our first X print, and now we've drifted into the 786 region, but we're not quite there. So what I'm waiting here for on Pepe, and I've got my alarm set, I'm waiting for this little drift into the zone here, and then it might trigger some kind of nice little bounce for us. So this Pepe is still on our watch list from yesterday, but we haven't hit our areas here, so that is still coming. So multiple zeros, 85, multiple zeros, 84, nice little hot zone over there. And there's Head of Likes. Head of Likes is still here. Say hi to everyone, Ray. Guys, thanks for hanging. I think you got a picture as to what's happening there. Little bit of caution here. Any little moves, we can't get too excited. We got to watch these reaction zones, watch these rejection areas, and eyes on the next level. For me, it's the 382s on a lot of these altcoins, and the 618s next zone. Tie that in with a 618 on BTC. Let's see where they settle together if we do get that downside. And eyes on results tonight. We've got earnings in the US tonight. Maybe some bad earnings are going to cause a problem for crypto again. Maybe these things are getting correlated again. So we saw the S&P fall over last night, and crypto fell over, which in the past, you know, last few months, we've noticed they were trading sort of in opposite directions. So maybe there's a bit more correlation coming on those guys at the moment. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Friday. Maybe we're going to get some entries for the weekend. Let's see what the next 24 hours gives us. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Later.